Shit.
What up, though?
Plug City.
Nobody talking
Shout out
like
my
this.
dog Hank.
Right
Sure,
Ain't nobody plug like this, you know we got it all. Dress from head to toe and hang nation, show you how to ball. Subscribe to the channel right now, check out them interviews. You can see me kicking it with Logic and the homie June. Dropping dope content every week now. So many artists killed it on that Plug City freestyle. No ideas media, we moving kinda different. Stay up in the lab, cooking up like your mama kitchen. Number one in the streets, you know we got it locked. They put times on the beat, so now I got it hot. So tune in, leave a like and subscribe. You locked in with Plug City, now enjoy the vibe.
Ain't nobody plug like this, you know we got it all. Dress from head to toe and hang nation, show you how to ball. Subscribe to the channel right now, check out the interviews. You can see me kicking it with Logic and the homie June. Yeah, shouts out to Plug City. Make sure y'all go over there and tap in. Leave a like and subscribe. Dope Ideas Media. Yeah. Ain't nobody plug like this. Ain't nobody plug like this. Ain't nobody plug like this. Ain't nobody plug like this.
Welcome to Plug City. I'm your host, June.
It's your boy Project Logic, man.
Who we got up there?
Who we got up here, man? Who we got up here? Who is it? Who is this esteemed gentleman we got up here, man?
You got to pour your own troubles, man. You got to introduce yourself for the people out there.
Well, my name is Will Black.
Give it up for Will Black.
Let's give it up for Will Black, ladies and gentlemen. Will Black. And for those of you who are unaware, he will be talking in his smooth jazz V98.7 voice the entire interview. So, ladies and gentlemen, pour yourself a drink.
Right here.
Grab that person you love,
Light a candle.
and let's talk.
All right.
Incense.
No, Will, what up, man?
What's up, man?
What's going on, man?
Oh, bro, not a whole lot.
Man,
Now, why y'all gonna act like y'all ain't just get out the studio?
I know that's what's hard about this, because it's like when you work with somebody you know, it's like, where do you start at? Like you don't want to just bring people in the middle of the conversation, but then you don't want to go through these whole conversations you done had over. So we're gonna start from the beginning, man.
Okay.
So let's just start from the beginning. We got got a little under an hour today. I know you're busy today. You got some things going on, so we're gonna try to have a real good, real in-depth conversation, but not take all day like we normally do. So just kind of tell us about, before we get into music, I do notice that you are kind of, I don't know how to explain it. You're not private, but it's like everybody be like, yeah, I know Will Black. But then nobody really knows Will Black. Like everybody would be like, yeah, I know him. Studio, music. Anything else? Studio, music. Yeah, but you know his middle name? Like, nobody, and that's an art, because most people who are kind of like out and about like that, you know too much about them. You feel like you know their whole life, or people are super secretive, and you're neither. But it's just like you mastered the art of, I'm gonna let you know what I want you to know, and what I don't want you to know, I'm not gonna let you know it. And that's dope. That's amazing. People can learn from that. So, but let's start from the beginning. Tell us about you, where you come from. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I was born and raised in Pontiac.
Give a round of applause, Pontiac.
Yorktown.
I just had to do that. My bad, June. I'm sorry.
Do your thing, man.
But no, born and raised in Pontiac. Pops was big in the music at that time. In the 80s, he died in 1980. I don't know, man. You kind of caught me off guard a little bit by recognizing what I've always known, and no one ever says that. And it's funny because people are really quick to say they know a lot about me, and they really don't. This is gonna be a horrible, very short interview. I will be cutting this one.
Yeah, I mean,
you forget that you got Logic next to you. There's no such thing as a short interview.
Man,
I'm gonna keep it short today, man. I ain't gonna go crazy.
No, I'm cool with however long this takes. It's just, okay. But seriously, you just caught me off guard with that, bro.
It happens.
Yeah, it's just because like the thing with me is just the way I move, man. It's a problem. You already know this from the studio. Mm-hmm. Hank and June already know this. It's hard for me to move without thinking shit out. Mm-hmm. Like I have to already have a plan. Like I'll have a 30-second walk, but it'll take me 5 minutes to figure out which direction. Bro, just walk 30 seconds. You know what I'm saying?
Project Logic.
So I just kind of noticed that from the jump
Right.
when talking to people, and everybody knows you. Like everybody knows Will Black, but then nobody knows Will Black. And I understand that the whole protect your peace, keep what you need where you need it. So it makes perfect sense. So before you got in music, you said early on your pops was into music. Were you into anything else, sports, like, or was music always?
Man, whatever I did, I was good at it. I played sports. Junior high school, a little bit in high school.
Okay.
Went to Central. They really wanted me to play football.
Okay.
And but I couldn't. I didn't want to play football. I think I went to a couple practices and everything, but that just meant I couldn't be in marching band.
Okay.
So,
That was your main thing, the band?
bro, yeah,
What did you play?
I played drums.
That's what's up.
Drums. I was in marching band at Pontiac Central the first year that Mr. Sykes became the drum director, the band director.
Yeah, shout out to Mr. Sykes, Cliff
Yeah.
Sykes. That was my guy. He cussed me out on the regular. I love Mr.
Oh,
Sykes.
bro, big influence in my
Yeah.
life, especially at that point, ninth
Yeah.
grade. And I had this band teacher who, was a black man and replacing a white man that had been at this school for a lot of years, a lot of pushback. And I remember that year we marched in the Mardi Gras, actually.
Oh, that's what's up.
It was a Mardi Gras. I didn't
Gras.
even know what a Mardi Gras was at that time. But yeah. So yeah, no, music has always been like
Your thing.
my life, bro. Like not just it's like I don't know what else. You know what I'm saying? Like,
So let me ask the most important question.
Okay.
That everybody wants to know when it comes to Will Black, like on a serious tip. Like, and this is just kind of like, everybody you run into who kind of, has had some type of interaction with you, positive, negative, neutral, whatever the case may be. And I get the same question. Like, yo, have you ever in your life raised your voice beyond this level?
oh yeah,
Have
bro.
you ever spoke louder? Like, can you imagine Will playing football, being a quarterback? Down. What he said. Speak up. I don't do that.
There's a thing with me, bro. Is
I don't
like
raise my voice.
it's gonna be
I'm like Shaq.
I'm either gonna be like this or I'm gonna be on 100.
Oh wow.
You know what I'm saying?
So I'm glad we've never seen the 100 then, right?
No, you know. Some people have. No, there's been some people that have seen it. Not as much as it used to be back in the day. I feel like I'm, maturing, but it's just there's another side.
Yeah. Everybody has two sides. So. What's some of your early on? I'm trying to do the history here. What's some of your early musical influences? You said music has always been your thing. You play
Michael
drums.
Jackson. Steve. The first records I remember as a kid was the Jackson 5,
Okay.
James Brown, and Shaka Khan records.
Shaka Khan.
Like these are Rufus and Shaka Khan. These were the records like I really remember as a kid. Okay. I was always a Jackson 5 dude though. Very first concert I ever went to was the Jackson 5. And it was the year my pops died, so it was 1980, and it was when Off the Wall came out. LTD opened up for them.
Jeffrey Osborne in the group.
Right. So it was literally the Jackson 5.
This is my lane.
Yeah, this yo. That's what I'm following. This yo.
see, yes.
This June right here.
Concentrate on you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but no, Jeffrey Osborne. Well, I should say LTD because it was LTD.
Yeah,
it wasn't
it was the
Jeffrey
group.
Osborne. But Michael Jackson, Parliament. Herbie Hancock.
Herbie
was
Hancock.
one of my favorite. My favorite song of all time is Chameleon. Well, Billie Jean and then Chameleon by Herbie Hancock. Wow. When I was a kid, my mama said before I could even talk, or I would be, "Mama, play blah 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 blah," and I was talking about Chameleon. So you gotta think, even at that age, that song came out in '71, and I was born in '72. So even at that age, I was into some 13-minute instrumental jazz song with several changes and time signatures and all kinds of stuff. That's what I
Came up
like.
on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of intriguing because that is directly reflected in the type of music you make. Like,
Thank you.
I can hear that. Like, because the one thing with Will, you know, it's kind of skipping ahead a little bit with the music you make, is that it's musical. Like, it's not, even your boom bap stuff isn't boom bap. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna get no direct, simple. Like, you can tell that there's musical influence there. Yo, I'm gonna play this key a little bit. I'm gonna do this scale. I'm gonna put something in there. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can tell that musical influence is there. So with that, you know, starting off with the marching band, going to James Brown, going with Shaka, going with Jackson 5, how did you get intertwined into rap? Because to me, your path says like music director. Your path says orchestra. Your path says I'm going to be in a band. So at what point did you transition to start messing with rap and hip hop music?
Well, I always wanted, one thing I knew very early on is that I wanted to do something in music. And initially it was be a drummer. I was heavily influenced by Hooker, Johnny Hooker Borders, Bub's dad.
Okay.
And me and Bub was little kids, you know, in band. You got to think, my dad died when I was 7, so before that, we were little kids. And my dad was the band manager and production dude and the guy that got the gigs and all of that stuff, and he led the band. And ultimately, you know, Bub's dad was the drummer, and he was my idol as a kid, okay?
And for those of y'all who know, we're talking about Bub Webb, Pontiac.
Yeah, Keith Bubby Webb,
Yeah.
another amazing
Mob.
producer,
Yeah,
drummer.
we got to have him on here too. So
Got to have Bub on here. But anyway, so fast forward, my dad, I remember my dad bringing home Rapper's Delight, kid, okay, and the 12-inch record, because he was also a DJ, so we had the, you know, techniques, turntables, and all of that. And I remember just being in awe with that song, and slowly, as you know, I just got into hip hop. You know, it was like I believe like I grew up on that soul, funk, jazz stuff, but I also have this. I was at the beginning of hip hop starting, you know, so that was definitely a huge influence in making me, you know, wanting to just produce hip hop music. I mean, initially I was rapping.
Oh, you were rapping.
Oh, bro, I got stuff out. Yeah, I was rapping before I was making beats.
Did you know that, Logic?
I remember him telling me that. It just hit me now that he said it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, because you look surprised.
Yeah, because I forgot. And I just keep picturing him rapping in this tone. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just going to rap like this.
There are laid-back rappers.
Yeah, V98.7. I got bars.
I mean, it's
Take you to
funny
heaven.
because I don't
9/11.
feel like I sound like that for real.
You know what I mean? Want to be on my team? Girl, come lay next to me.
No.
Brand new jeans.
But look who's talking. You know, big husky voice. I got acapellas, but I can pull them up. Yeah.
Oh,
Yo,
man. All right, I quit.
facts.
I quit.
Nice.
Nice. That's my go-to.
Nice.
Conducting business while I'm talking. So it's a lot I want to talk about, but I'm trying to lay the groundwork of letting people know who you are before we get there. So you started off rapping. You always wanted to be a drummer. Why'd you quit rapping?
Rapping and singing. I did that as well. And at one point what happened was my mother told me one day, she says, you know, you sing good, but you don't sound as good as your dad. And did you ever think about maybe just writing and doing stuff for other people? Killed me. It like that did some shit to me, to my self-esteem and everything. But that also is what drove me to start writing and producing. And ultimately, like, I remember some of the groups I was in, I was doing all of the music anyway, and sometimes writing all of the raps or whatever the case. You know, I was always doing that. And ultimately, I feel like I was always doing what my dad did, you know, without even realizing it. But so at some point, I realized that there was a shelf life on being an artist.
Okay.
And then there were many facets of music and genres of music and things that I really liked.
Okay.
And I started to see that being a producer was limitless. Like I could do whatever at that point. You know, I can be you for a minute. You know what I'm saying? Producing some stuff with you is like, you know, or I can be this whoever. I like seeing. I see and hear people's voices as instruments, and I hear other layers in it, and I just like to, you know, interpret it in a different kind of a way.
And I like that. It's like the artists you work with are like the instruments, and you're like the person who can play all the different instruments. So I can come over here and do this with him, do that with, and I'm not boxed in
Exactly.
to any one particular spot. So it gives you the room to express yourself more freer.
And
You know what I'm saying?
and it expands on what I'm doing, because ultimately, you know, like you can mix chocolate and peanut butter, and you can mix chocolate with marshmallows, and it's totally different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's not that chocolate's better without, you know, better with peanut butter or better with marshmallows. It's just different. You know, it's just different.
Yeah.
You know, and I know that, you know, it's interesting to me when people say, man, you know, your range is so broad. And I'm thinking, like, really what it is that I work with artists, and I don't try to take away from who they are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I just try to become one with that artist for whatever period of time that we doing something, you know. And it's not about, hey, here's a Will Black beat and you doing you on a Will Black beat. It's like, let's do some shit together.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's something different.
Now let's kind of talk about that a little bit. You know, let's kind of fast forward a little bit to, you know, you run your own studio. So you want to kind of, you know, tell a little bit about that real quick?
Yeah, Gypsyland Studio. It's a my studio is about being comfortable. You know, I'm big on that. I like personal, you know, it's about small intimate setting. If you want to get some work done, not feel rushed, do some stuff. That's what I like, you know, about my space and working in that space. I don't know. What
So okay, so a lot of your music is titled as Black Gypsy. What does that name mean, and how did you get that?
Black, my last name, obviously.
Yep.
And Gypsy is, I've always, once I looked up the meaning of gypsies, gypsies were free-spirited people. Usually they were they were considered outcasts. They were travelers. And then also, later on, the definition has changed. Because when I, you know, looked this up, it's been, 20, it's been 30 years, not damn near now. But when I looked up the term gypsy at that time, it meant something totally different than what it is now. And now, like, gypsy, the word gypsy is almost like nigga. It's a derogatory term. Okay, so there's this interesting thing that it is free-spirited, and there were usually magicians, musicians, things like that. But now it means some other stuff, and I kind of like that it means all. You know what I mean?
It grows,
It grew to something else.
Because
So.
it took me a while to realize that the term, when you say somebody gypped you, that was negative. Like, I didn't realize that. Like, you gypped me, like stuff. I learned, like, later on in life, like terms gypped, Indian give, and stuff like that. Like, you kind of learn, you know, the history behind that, and it's kind of, you know, indicative of who you are as a producer as well, because you are super free spirited with what you do. Like, let's just go, and that was the only thing when me and you first started working together that I just hated. He's like, let's just do something. I'm like, what? We're not gonna write nothing down? We're not gonna have a plan? We're not gonna, man, no, let's just, what you feel like doing? I'm like, bro, I feel like writing something down. Like, can we make a list? Like, no, we ain't gonna make no list. We just gonna do it. Like, here's a record, let's go. Like, what? Like, it was just confusing. But so cool. So let's tell the story about how me and you met.
Whoa, okay. So
Sounds like a regretful day, but
No,
That's what we doing,
It's just
Joe?
random.
Random as hell.
It was random, but shout out to my boy Oob.
Shout out to Oob, man.
Yeah, Oob.
Oobs.
Oobs. But
Oops, he did it again. Damn. Oob is an Uber, man.
facts.
Oob is a good man. Me and Oob, we argue, we fuss, we fight, we get cool. We argue, we fuss, we fight, we get cool. We argue again, we get cool again.
leaves a chat.
He leaves the chat, deletes the chat, starts another chat, and another thing. like, oh my God, man. Like, I love how authentic Oob is, man. You gonna know how Oob feel in that moment. It will change from moment to moment,
change. Give it
but
some
he
time.
will let you know. Like, shout out to Oob, man. But go ahead, so
Uber Pisces, just like me.
oh
too.
man, Jesus
That's what
Christ.
it is.
Is that what it is?
Yup. Oob. There's a few of us I started to notice. Oob, Said, Frankie J. Okay. Ro.
The whole gang.
They all Pisces. I just noticed all of that. But
You are
Hank's a
oh,
Pisces.
Hank's a Pisces. Jesus
oh, see,
Christ.
see.
I should have known Oob was something that had the word pie in it. He's
That-
gonna kill me.
Yeah, he's gonna-
I'm gonna be dead tomorrow.
No, but Oobs did the Oob when he did the Beat 16. Beat 16. They did the little drawing, and then I get this dude, Project Logic, right? And most of these guys are from Pontiac, so I knew them all. And even before the drawing, I had an idea who I wanted to work with. I was like, I want to work with him. I never did some shit with him.
And it wasn't Logic though. for the
I didn't even know who this dude was.
I didn't know who he was. I had no
Okay?
idea.
And then for me, it's like I'm pretty aware of the music scene in Pontiac, and I'm like, he can't be dope if I don't know him.
right.
That's simple.
Right.
So I was like, who the fuck? Project Logic. Who is this dude? So the first thing I always do is I just search to see if I can find your music. I couldn't find no music. And I'm like, so now I'm about to be working with somebody that don't even do shit. Okay? This is what I was thinking.
But let me ask you this though,
Okay.
before you get. Did he ask you a million questions upon working together?
Well, this is before we even talked. This
Okay.
is
I want to know what that was like. But go ahead.
Listen, we about to have some real conversation
Okay.
about that type of shit. It's gonna be funny. It's gonna be funny.
Yeah.
But so I started getting inboxes from people like, dude, I can't wait to hear what y'all do. I'm like, who is this? I don't know him. I go to his Facebook, and then he had this picture. I think you had your daughter in the picture, I think, but you was all big and like standing there. I was like, didn't see no music, nothing on Facebook, no signs of nothing.
You hear how Will just take shots at you on the low? I seen the picture of him with his daughter, and he was just like all big.
He's being detailed. That's all. He's just being
I
detailed.
really want you to understand.
He's trying to get a picture here.
I want you to understand and grasp, what was happening in that moment. So I'm getting a barrage of text messages in my inbox. Dude, when y'all do y'all shit, this is going to be dope. Like, I can't wait to see what y'all do. I'm like, who is this guy? We finally end up hooking up, and he was thinking the same thing, right?
Bruh, so like he stole, like what pissed me off before we even met was he stole my speech. So look, right, so the first beat.
Wait, somebody stole
He
your
stole
speech?
my speech. So look, right? So, the Beat 16 that Oob did, I think, and it was the same thing for me. I knew all the other producers, Quest McCody, Chills, Tyrant. It was 8 producers. Of the 8 producers, I knew 6 of them I had worked with. One of them I hadn't worked with, but I knew who it was, and him. So I get matched together, and I get matched with Will Black, and I see it late. Because I'm at work. So, I get off the train, I see it, I'm like, okay, Will Black, whatever. I'm like, whoever this is. And I start getting inboxes saying, oh, you and Will Black gonna be dope. Y'all gonna be dope. I'm like, bro, you never heard of Will Black? You never heard of Black? Like, no, I haven't. And so I'm like, bro. So then I'm kind of getting a little bit of, you're gonna be happy to work with him. But then I'm seeing all the other matchups or all the other names, One Below with this guy, Quest with, and it's me and Will Black. And my super competitiveness kick in. So I'm like, and then, so I go and I find his music. And I find his page, and all his music has features on it. So it say Will Black featuring, Will Black featuring. So I'm clicking on the music. I'm just trying to listen for 20 seconds. And I hear like a dude playing like, what's my man playing? A flute or something. It was like I'm listening to violin. I'm like, okay, there go the violin. Like the drums about to kick in, the beat about to drop. Oh, this is just a violin. Oh, okay. Oh, this is just kids dance. Like it was just all music, like no rap. It was just like, oh, what is this? A symphony? What is that? A cello? Like, what am I gonna do with a cello? Like, I don't know what to. Like, how do you like? Do I spit a 16 over a cello? Like, I don't know what to do. So I'm like, all right. So like, literally 5-6 people hit my inbox like, yo, Will Black, dope, legendary. I don't know how y'all don't know each other. Y'all been doing music, yada yada yada, this and that. So I'm like, all right, you know what? Whatever, fuck it. My competitiveness kicked in. I don't care who he is. I don't care how wack he is. We gonna make something dope. So I go to the B16 group, right?
See how he slid that in?
Yeah. So I go to the B16 group and I'm typing. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? And I got paired with Will Black. You know, I don't know who he is. I never worked with him before, but we gonna make some dope shit. We gonna win this shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I wanted to work with such and such, but you know, whatever. We about to make this shit work, right? And as soon as I hit send, the page refreshed. And the very first thing I seen was Will Black post like, yeah, I never heard this nigga Project Logic, but I don't care how whack he is with the rapping, you know, I'm gonna make the best of it, and this is gonna be. I'm like, bro, no, you can't say that to me. Like, I was supposed to say that to you. Like, you said it 6 minutes before me. So, you know, we got on the phone, and immediately, yes, I asked 1,000,001 questions.
I knew it.
But what was crazy was he asked them too. Like, we talked on the phone for maybe like a week straight before we did the joint that we did, just what type of sound you want. And the reason why I connected with Will, because there's very few people who like, I disagree with everybody. You know, I disagree with you. I disagree with Hank. We disagree. Like, it's just what we do.
I think
You're quite the contentious
He
one.
purposely does that.
No, but with you, I didn't. Because like, Beat 16 was billed as like a battle, me and Will versus everybody. So I wanted to do an aggressive freestyle battle-y type joint. And Will was like, bro, everybody gonna do that. Let's just make a dope ass song. And I'm looking at the other names and I'm like, bro, they gonna be they gonna be, you know, going hard. I'm thinking like a Cassidy freestyle, a Funk Flex type deal. I wanna go that route. I done wrote some bars out, some random bars. He like, yeah, that's dope, but everybody gonna do that. Let's not do that. Let's just make a dope ass song. Put it, and he sent me a beat that was just like, eh. And I was like, all right, cool. So I wrote to the but I wrote some hard ass shit. He was like, yeah, I just wanted to know what you was gonna do. I'm like, what?
Oh,
and then he
tested
made
you.
a totally different beat off that template and made a totally different beat. And the shit was just hard as hell. So it's like, what you heard on the Beat 16 is not what I wrote to. It was totally different. The sample was kind of the same. The tempo was the same and everything else was different. And when I played it, and it was funny because shout out to my girl, I love you, baby, but she doesn't know me. So I played it to her and she was like, I don't like it. And so now I'm like, dang, I don't know. And then so I played it for like 2-3 other people, and they was like, what? This is crazy. So I'm like, who do I trust? Like, I don't.
It's called working with a producer as to a beat maker.
Exactly. But that's why I think our relationship works, because that's one of the few times where I felt strongly opposite to what he wanted to do. But I'm like, let's just see how it worked. You know what I'm saying? Let's just try it. And the shit worked. And we shot the video. Our first time meeting was maybe like 2 months after when we shot the video, and it was because
It wasn't that long.
Well, how long ago was it?
It might have been a few weeks.
You think so?
Yeah, it might have been.
I think we spent a few weeks.
No, we only spent like a week putting that song together. Maybe a week, because we had like a 2-week deadline.
Did we?
Yeah, we had
I
a
felt
deadline.
like it felt
That first beat 16 was fast.
it felt
Yeah.
longer for
First
some reason.
2 or 3 went
The-
fast,
the
and
first-
then
yep.
they started.
Dragging after that.
Yeah, no, because that was in the middle of that's when COVID first got crazy.
For some, it felt longer for some reason. I guess maybe because we was on the phone every day.
Yeah, we was
But-
on the phone and you would be FaceTiming me and you'd send me different verses and different things back. I remember at one point you was like, you wanted the beat to be harder. I think I threw some bass on it, got GT on the bass on it. And he was like, man, I don't know, man. We got to kill these niggas, man. This ain't too soft. And I remember getting off the phone like, I wish this nigga would just trust me, man. God, just trust me.
I didn't want to hear none of that shit.
And I don't like going back and forth too much.
And I love going back and forth.
Yeah,
So it's just
you
like,
do. Like,
no,
you-
we got to be hard, man. We got to be.
As I said before, he's quite the contentious one.
But see-
as Oob described.
What I've learned though,
Shout out to Oop.
what I've learned is I've learned to learn from these situations. And what I do know about Logic is, you're gonna always know where you stand with Logic. He not gonna bullshit you.
No.
He's a man of his word, and he has good intentions and everything. So even when he comes off as him being devil's advocate, you know, or it comes off like, man, I don't feel like doing all of this shit, it's good to listen and have those conversations. And then having these conversations with him, it's made it easier for me to have conversations with people that I could give two shits about.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
You might not want to hear what he has to say, but it's from
Nobody
a genuine,
wants to hear what I have to
It's
say.
from a genuine place, though.
Right.
Really.
It's from
I
a
mean,
genuine place.
maybe it's something you need to hear.
But not even that. See, but I just believe in doing the work up front and chilling on the back end. And because those first couple months when me and Will met and worked together, we had so many conversations and got so much clarity that now we just pretty much on cruise control. You know what I'm saying? So, and that kind of goes into the topic that kind of, you know, as far as dealing with different artists in the studio and all that. A lot of people don't want to have those conversations. Like, I would say it all the time. We'll be talking like, you know what I mean? Like, nah. Like, I hate when I don't know somebody and they say, know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, no, I don't. I have no idea what you're saying. I have no idea what you mean. I don't know you, fam. Like, what do you mean? Like, tell me what you mean so then I'll know. Like, I don't know. But it cleared up so much confusion. And I use so much wrong terminology in the studio. I'll be like, yo, I want some gritty soul shit. And then I give an example. Like, yeah, that's not gritty soul. That's more like this. You know what I'm saying? That's what I call this. Or I want some hard shit. Like, that's hard? That's not really hard. Like, so just having those conversations up front, and now I can use the completely wrong term, and he'll just be ignoring me doing his own thing. Like, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Okay, yeah. Yeah, okay. You want some coffee?
You know what?
Like, whatever.
What's so dope now is that you guys are working with each other outside the Beat 16, but
Yeah.
Beat 16 kind of brought you together.
Yeah.
And these are two artists that didn't know each other from a can of paint. They have a platform like Beat 16, and now you guys have a genuine friendship and
Yeah, you know my kids, know my girl,
Oh,
like
yeah,
been in my
that's-
crib, all that.
yeah,
Be at his
yeah.
crib, I know his
So-
wife, I met his daughters, all types of stuff. Daughter.
so shout out to
Yeah.
Oob and Beat 16.
Shout out to So hold on, wait. Say that one more time.
Shout out to Oob and Beat 16.
Yeah.
One more time.
I'm not doing that no more.
Just one more.
Shout out to Oob and Beat 16.
There we go. Because Oob swear we don't give him his love. He don't get his love. We got to make sure we give Oob his love, man. Oob does, he's an asshole. He's a jerk. He's one of those guys. But Oob also does amazing things, especially when it comes to music. He loves to bring people together. He loves
music.
He like to be like I guess we call him like the puppet master. He don't really like to be seen. He don't really like to be out.
I've never
but
seen him.
He like to put
in
people
person.
together.
You've never seen
Does
Oob
he
in person?
exist?
No, I don't think he does. I said that to him.
Like, bruh,
I feel like I'm getting punked.
like he's from Pontiac. All of us from Pontiac. Me and Will had never met. We from Pontiac. Oob and Will Pontiac. That just goes to show you, like, Pontiac is a super small.
Met him in person.
See?
If a Oob falls in the forest and nobody hears it, does it make a sound?
Hell yeah.
I knew that was coming.
No, but Oob is great for that, and that's kind of what he really wants to do. And I do understand that Oob is one of those type of guys who does feel like he deserves his flowers and doesn't feel like he gets them a lot. So it comes across sometimes as kind of harsh when he asks for them. But I get where he's coming from. You know what I'm saying? Oob does a lot. He puts people together. He likes to put people in situations and stuff like that. So let's give Oob his love. Shout out to Oob for doing that, for the Beat 16, because there's a couple of artists who came together who didn't have the same success. You know what I'm saying? Because they couldn't have those conversations, or they didn't have those understandings.
And it's not going to be 1,000%
Because they're not as dope as me,
successful.
fam.
It takes dope people, dope artists, a dope combination.
Dope as Will, man. Everybody can't do it.
For me, it's like when I'm making music, I'm not just, as much as it might seem like I'm just throwing some shit together, it's more to that.
Right.
There's more to it for me. So it's better when I understand you as a person, because I'm really trying to make something. I mean, I guess, it's like sex. I could just fuck somebody if I just wanted to fuck them, or, not pause.
Pause.
Big pause. But, it's better when you get to know a motherfucker, right? Isn't it better when you get to know somebody?
Where's Clev when you need him?
Pause.
Pause.
Look here. We're gonna shift gears here.
Pause.
Now that we're oh boy.
Hey, yo.
Look. We got Logic and we got Will Black here. Can we get a Logic Plug City freestyle produced by Will Black? I'm putting it on the spot.
All right.
Can we do that?
What, you want to do it right now? Or what?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
On beatbox and then I spit some bars?
No,
Like, what we
no,
do?
no,
Okay.
no. Want
Man,
cook
listen,
something up.
Me and Logic cooking something up is real simple. It's the other shit. Because, like, I got this one song, this the longest song that I've ever been mixing in my entire life.
I wasn't going to bring it up.
Let's bring it up. I'm cool with it, man. That's why I say, you know, this one song that I've been mixing the longest in my entire life. Video done, artwork done.
Video was done last year. Artwork was done last year.
Mm-hmm. And I'm still mixing it.
Hasn't dropped?
Nah, because I've been overthinking this mix. And one of the things that happened is one day Logic said something about the mix. And then that was it.
So you know how he just gave the example about how he was trying to rap, and then he was like, his mom said, you're not quite as good as your pops, and then that just fucked everything up. Like that was my first time hearing that story. So it was like, now he did the mix, and I was like, you know what, we could have Max do the mix.
You messed
He
up.
was going, fuck that.
Yeah.
And it's been,
We should have him do it at this point.
but that song is super dope. We both, and that was another song so I had an idea for a song based on a situation my daughter had experienced, and I had a feel for a song. I don't know if I told the story or not. I don't want to drag the story out. So, but very quick, when she was in kindergarten, her best friends were these 3 white triplets. They were her best friends. She loved them deaf, and they loved her. And this is when Frozen was out, the movie Frozen. And every day on the playground, they would play Frozen. Okay. So they would take turns being Elsa, Anna, Olaf, all that type of stuff or whatever. So when it was Brooklyn's turn to be Elsa, they was like, yo, you can't be Elsa because you don't have Elsa hair. So you got to be like Anna, or you got to be Olaf or the Sven, the Moose or whatever it was. So, and this was on lunch.
Yeah.
In preschool. And I go to pick her up from school. She get in the car and she sit in the back saying like, hey, baby, how you doing? Ready to go to McDonald's? She just sat there quiet. Like, you want to go to McDonald's? And she just bust out in tears. I'm talking about like to the point where I thought like I had smashed her finger in the door or something happened. Like tears, snot, all that. Like it took like 3 minutes just to calm her down. And I'm like, what's wrong? Like, it can't be Elsa. I'm like, what you mean you can't be? Like, what are you talking about? What's wrong? So she finally calmed down. She tell me, they said she can't be Elsa.
Okay.
So we have a conversation. We get home. We talk about it. I'm like, why can't you be Elsa? I don't have Elsa hair, and I want Elsa hair. And it was this, at the time she used to go to I used to work out at LA Fitness. And the young lady who worked in the childcare at LA Fitness, her name was Asia. She was a black girl, and she had, the weave, the straight weave or whatever. And she's like, I want Elsa hair or I want Asia hair. And I thought she was saying, I want Asian hair. And I'm like, no, well, you don't have Asian hair. You don't have Elsa hair. You have Brooklyn's hair. Love your hair. I don't want Brooklyn hair. So, at the time, me and her mom were split. Her mom was living in Atlanta. Brooklyn was here with me. Right. So I called mom trying to let mom know, like, this was going on. And mom did what mom did. Man, fuck them girls. They don't know nothing. I'm like, whoa, kindergartners is not what we doing. I just want you to boost her self-esteem up, right?
We're not going to set you up in kindergarten.
Yeah, we not riding on the kindergarten. Yeah. Like, we're not doing that. Right. So, mom talked to her. She wasn't having it. I talked to her. She wasn't having it. So finally, I'm like, forget it. You know what, Brooklyn? I took her braids down. I'm like, you wearing your fro until you love it. She hated it. She tried to cut her hair with scissors. She would walk around with a hat, and she would just cover it, and she hated it. And I made her do it for like a month. Finally, one day we in the store, and some old black lady is like, oh, girl, can I have your hair? And Brooklyn, like, you can have it. Like, she's like, no, your hair is so beautiful and this and that. And Brooklyn kind of looked at me like, what? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like the poofy. And no, it's beautiful. It's amazing. And that started the kind of building her self-esteem up a little bit about her hair or whatever. And to go back real quick, the little girls, like, I talked to them, I talked to their parents, 'cause they were friends. Their parents, oh, no, it's nothing. They went over there, they talked, they played. The girls were still cool. They didn't understand what they had did. They wasn't trying to be hurtful. They just had the braid, like Elsa and Brooklyn didn't have it. So, and we just kind of built the song around that. And I wanted the song to have a totally different feel than what the song ended up having. And I was like, yo, I want to do it like this. I want to make it soul. I want to do this. And one day Will was just making a beat. And I'm like, he like, just try it. Just see how it happen. And it's a tempo that I normally don't rap on. So I just started writing on the spot. He like, yeah, that's it. And I'm like, no, it's not. He was like, yes, it is. That's it. Finish that up. Do that. Let's just lay in here how I go. And I was like, nah, I don't really like it. Like, it's not doing what I wanted to do because it don't feel the way I wanted it to feel. So he like, let's just sit on and see how I feel. Took it home. I let 4 or 5 people hear it. They're like, bro, this is probably like the best song you ever did. Like, they're like, this is probably it. And I'm like, bro, but I don't like it. Like, bro, Logic, fuck what you like. Like, make this happen. You know what I'm saying? So ever since then Will fell in love with it. Then Will played it for his family. Then I played it for Brooklyn. And I played it for my family. And it just, everybody was like, oh, that's dope. That's dope. Let's do it. So it put a lot of pressure on us to make sure that it was good. And same with the video and with the mixing and everything. And it just added a lot to it. That's the song. Yeah.
That's the song. So it's like, for me, it ain't just a song. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to do it justice. And I heard that story before we did the song. And I was moved by that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was moved by the story. And even the video, even when the video comes out, I feel like it's really
dope.
It's powerful.
Like, the whole thing is dope. And it's just like,
it is.
But it's also like at the point. Yeah, I got it on my phone. I'll let you check it out when we finish the episode. Like,
Don't listen to the mix though.
I think we got like 3 versions. Like, we got the regular version.
You got 3 versions.
No, I'm talking about, because remember the jazzy version?
Oh yeah.
You
Oh,
got,
we
you got
a
like
whole-
3.
we got a remix,
yeah.
we got all that already
We ain't got the
done.
original out. Got the remix ready, man. We like the king of stalling. Like,
know
we
what?
both just
We-
stall.
we-
Like,
no.
Joseph Stalling. That's my new Twitter handle.
This would need to happen, bro. And this is on tape too. We just gotta. You gotta let me be me like you do, but then you gotta push me sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real.
Yeah.
Like, and I ain't gonna get mad because I know
Yeah,
it's coming
we
from
at.
a good place. You know what I'm saying?
But see, me, like, I'm the dude who will give you advice. I'll be like, bro, you need to do this. But I don't know, though.
Yeah,
Because when it go wrong, but hey,
that's you 100%.
now I mean,
That's you 100%.
you know what I'm saying? If I was you, I would do it this way, my opinion. But hey,
Me
you know
and
what I'm
Logic
saying?
have gone back and forth. We've gone back and forth on the phone about some shit where I'm really like, nah. And then you finally convinced me to do this shit. And you'll be like, but I wasn't really trying to do it.
But I don't know, though, man. I'm just saying. Just look at it that way.
We
Like,
just spent a whole hour talking about this shit.
man, but it's dope, though, because like, and we're going to kind of swing this to the studio and to work and all that. Like, and I'm very careful, you know, even when these conversations, whatever we're doing, to respect your time, to respect your energy. Like, and, you know, when we did the Beat 16, when we started working together on the Black Logic, when we started putting songs together, I made sure I didn't try to parlay the Beat 16 friendship into free studio time. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, yo, we cool, we get along, but I know this is what you do. So, you know what I'm saying? With talking the whole business talk we had last time, I made sure I spoke up. Like, yo, what's the charge for the studio? Like, we cool and all that, but I ain't trying to be fake buddy to get free.
Right.
What's the ticket? You know what I'm saying? When we working together, I understand that when you're doing stuff, you know, that you're not charging for, like the dark skin on Viv joint. That's why I'm so conscious of making sure it's right, because we doing it as a vision, but I also understand this how you pay bills. This how you eat. You know what I'm saying? So I'm conscious of that when working. So, and I try to make sure I keep that in the forefront. So taking that into consideration when you're, because we kind of talked about the situation that happened today a little bit with the studio and communication and things like that. So before we get directly into that, what is your thought on the current climate of working with local rap artists? Like, what is your take on, if you had to give your opinion on what is the climate? Is it good? Is it bad? Is it beneficial to you when you're working with the local rap artists? Like, what is that like for you?
Well, I think, like I said earlier, I've learned to look at every situation as a learning experience, first of all. So working with anybody is beneficial for me to some extent. Now I'm at a place where I need to, I'm understanding the importance of really having conversations with people. And also understanding my worth, you know, and value. I feel like being compensated for what I do could mean a whole bunch of different things, you know, with people. But ultimately, if you don't have those conversations, then you leave yourself open to, you know, you leave yourself open for anything to happen for the most part. So as far as working with local artists or, you know,
Just rap in general, when it comes to working with local rap artists. Like, would you say it's more positive than negative, more negative than positive?
I think it's whatever you make it.
What is it for you?
For me, it's more positive
Okay.
than negative.
Okay.
I won't say that it's always financially lucrative,
Okay.
okay, but there's still some worth in, you know, some of the stuff that I do. Just like, first of all, I feel like there's a respect and an appreciation that has to happen, you know, when you're working with somebody. And if you got that mutual respect and appreciation for, you know, each other, just starting there, then that's a game changer in itself, you know. So I personally I just want to have conversations, man, and we be straight up with each other about whatever the situation may be. You know, one of the things that I like to ask artists when I'm in the studio is, what is your goal? You know, like, there are certain things that, like, if your purpose is to sell some records, then maybe there's certain things that you should do, you know, for your song or whatever that will apply to that, or, you know, or that will encourage sales. If your goal is to I just got to get this off my chest, then just get that off your chest. And, you know, certain other things don't apply. I feel like I'm rambling and going all off of your question.
No. You know, but that's the point. That's the getting to that understanding, because, I mean, and I kind of want to get into that too, because it seems like you want to do more than make a beat.
Oh, hell yeah.
You produce.
Yes.
And there's always that conversation of what's the difference between a producer and a beat maker. And in order for you to produce something, you know, you got to understand the motivation. You got to understand the tone. You got to understand what the goals are. You got to understand what their budget is. It's all inclusive, because you're producing it. You're putting the whole thing together. You're taking bits and pieces of information and making a story.
Right.
And a lot of times you're forced to do that with limited information. And that information could be money, resources. That information could be inability to communicate. It could be a not understanding what direction they want to go musically. They telling they want to make this type of project, but the music isn't that type of music for the type of project you're trying to make.
Right.
And now most people, especially a lot of younger artists, you find they don't do the home studio thing anymore. Whereas I record here, they record some with you, some over there, some over there, some over there. And you got all these different influences and all these different people doing stuff different. So you got some people who, the moment you walk in the studio, you on the clock. Then you got some people who, the moment you start recording, you on the clock. Then you got some people who you come to the studio with, as long as you bring some weed and some drink, y'all gonna sit there and drink and smoke for an hour before y'all start. And then, you know, you on the clock. So people not understanding. So you running into, while you're trying to produce and trying to get this understanding, and their mentality is, yo, I'm on the clock. I gotta, And then you trying to tell them this, but homeboy over here who don't care about nothing but making this $55 an hour, like, yeah, whatever you want to do. Yeah, that shit dope, cuz. Yeah, we on the clock, right? Yeah, oh, hell yeah, that's fire, cuz. That's dope, cuz. And now, so it creates a disruption in the dynamic, you know, working together. So just finding out if, from what you're saying, and this just me expanding on what you're saying, is if you had to base your financial stability on working with rappers, local rappers, that probably wouldn't be the move.
Nah.
But there's another benefit to working with rappers that you find deeper when you're working with them. But it's the creativity, it's the building, it's the conversations and things like that, is where you get your benefit from. That's where you find your jewels at. So, you know, trying to balance those things, because you run the studio for a profit.
Right.
But you're not making a profit with the people who, with a certain segment of the people who frequent your business. So it's like, what are some things that you feel, and I'm gonna ask a question on both ends.
Okay.
What are some things that you feel that the artists who come to your studio that they could do or should do or would make it better? Of course, besides the obvious of you charging more per hour for the studio, what is something that could help you make it more financially responsible for you with dealing with those type of artists?
Rephrase that.
So
I want to understand it.
okay, so what I'm trying to figure out is, okay, you're working with rappers and you're not really making the money off the rappers that you should.
Okay.
And I would assume, my assumption is that rappers are a large portion of the people you work with. So like, and you're not making money off that. So why are you not? Is it because you're charging too low because they don't have a budget? Is it because they're not spending enough time in the studio to get their songs done right? Are rappers just coming with 2 tracks, that MP3s, and rapping over that, so there's no mixing, there's no mastering, so the quality isn't there? Like, what is the reason why you not making that money like that when it comes to rappers?
Well, I think there's a few things. First of all, I'm not going to just open up my studio to any and everybody.
Okay.
So there is that aspect.
Okay.
I would, all money ain't good money.
Okay.
So I'm very aware of that at
Okay.
this point. At this age, really.
Yeah.
It's like at one point I did just work with anybody. Whoever had money, you come to the studio, you do whatever, you talk to me like shit, whatever. I ain't give a fuck. I got the money.
Yeah.
We good. So I'm not there. So that alone, I think, eliminates a lot of, that alone cuts my,
Your budget, what you're
yeah,
making.
oh yeah, yeah, man. Because I could have, it's just some people I'm just not having in my studio. I've had people reach out to me and I can see from just I don't know them, or I've seen how they move around in the world, and it's like I don't want that, around me. Okay, so there's that part. Another thing is I want to work with people who want to work. Like that actually, that really like I say, there's more to it for me than just,
What I'm hearing is it's more relationship based than transaction based.
it's both. Because again, like I told you, like I love making music. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, bro, I already know I could just make some beats and post beats online and make money.
Okay.
All day. I've had beats on these little beat websites, and then I've also heard these songs come back or hear somebody on one of my songs, and I'm just hurt. I'm hurt because it's like, what the? You just fucked up my song. Okay? And you gave me, I could sell this beat 20 times for $20 and make, but you just murdered something that, like, I gave you a piece of me and you just fucked it up.
Right.
So I could probably make more money if I detach from how I feel about some of the shit.
Right.
So it's like that. This is an interesting, tough question for me, man.
Man, and it always seems to go that way. Can you hear me good? Because I just
I can
kind
hear
of
you.
adjusted,
I can
so I
hear
want to
you.
make sure
Yeah.
the
You
mic
good. You good.
pick me up. Because I try to stay away from doing business with things that I'm passionate about. Like, because you're always going to put more into it because you're passionate. So you're going to care about the details and the minutia and the things that is not going to make you an extra dollar. But you care about it. You might spend extra 3 hours on a mix that the artist that you just spent this 3 hours for getting this one hi-hat right, and then the artist here and don't give a shit.
Right.
Like, but you care about your mix.
Yeah.
So you're always going to invest more in it. So it's never really going to feel like an even exchange for you because you're always going to put in more than you give out than you get when you care about it.
I don't feel like it's an even exchange, but I do feel like it isn't gonna pay off. Because me spending all of that time to get that hi-hat right, today will pay off at some point. And it is paying off. I won't even say will. It is paying off. I do get clients who know how much I care about what I'm doing. They coming to me to work with me because of that. And also in spending this much time in doing all that, I'm doing this stuff now with more of a purpose.
Yeah.
before I was just doing stuff and it was all like what you said, feel, and there's like no direction. It's like within the last year, I think more with purpose as I'm spending that hour on that hi-hat. It's like, let's spend that hour on that hi-hat, but let's remember what we did to get that hi-hat that way.
Yeah.
Or maybe let's save this template. You know what I'm saying? Let's save this template. So there is some things to get out of. There is some value in that, you know. But ultimately, you're right. It's got to turn into some profit.
Sooner or
It's
later.
gotta turn into some money.
Let's talk studio etiquette.
Okay.
What are some things that when artists come to your studio specifically, or a studio in general, that you see artists do that they shouldn't do?
Well,
And keep in mind, let's give the caveat that with your studio is a home studio.
Mm-hmm.
It's in your home, so of course there's going to be a lot of things that you're just not going to allow because it's in your
Oh yeah,
home.
no, but I know what you said.
So,
I'm
yeah.
taking it
Yeah,
just
yeah,
in
okay,
general.
yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
talking about strictly
Yeah.
studio etiquette,
Yeah.
whatever. First, one of the first things I think is if you be respectful of people's time. It's too often 90% of my clients are late. For real. And that alone puts you in this place because like I'd be an asshole if I started like, okay, well your session started at 6 and you an hour late. So I'm still charging you for that hour, right?
Yeah.
And I'll probably lose some clients that way. Real quick. They say I was an asshole. All right. So it's like this weird thing where you gotta kinda know how to deal with people in that particular situation.
Okay.
Another thing I think is either come prepared. Like, again, like I say, I always ask people. I have to ask so I can better understand what is your purpose. What are you trying to do? You know. So like, come in the studio. Maybe this is gonna sound weird with me saying this. With a plan. Okay.
A wrote down plan?
Whatever it
paper?
is. Whatever it is. Whether it's wrote down or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. And my reason for saying come with a plan is because I can come, my plan might be no plan. Like I'm coming in planning
Yeah.
to make something on the spot.
Yeah.
I've had studio sessions where people spent 2 hours going through YouTube beats. And then they lay their verse in 2 takes. So they done. So they spent 2.5 hours
Yeah.
and we was going through YouTube beats. They wasted money. As me being somebody who I kind of give a fuck about that because I don't want
Yeah.
somebody to leave my spot feeling like they got fucked over.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like this nigga, you know, it's like, dog, you spent 2 hours going over that. I didn't do that. You know, so there's that. So coming prepared. And if you're not prepared, be okay with making mistakes.
Yeah.
You know, it's annoying to me. Not annoying, but when I'm working with somebody and they fuck up and they just keep saying my bad, my bad, my bad. It's like I don't care if you fucking up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't care if you fucking up. You know, I just want you to be comfortable and get the best performance, you know, that you can give. Which in most cases, if you know the shit, or you know what you want to do, then it's cool. And then if you're not cool with knowing all of that, then you got to be cool with not knowing all of that and just letting it all happen. And I'm cool with that kind of session. I'm the type of engineer that I'm a roll with you, you know, because I feel like it's important for you to be comfortable in order to get your shit done.
Let me ask you this, because you just spoke on it. What is your thought on YouTube beats? Do you have an opinion either way when it comes to artists using YouTube beats?
I've learned that, you know, things change. So I don't like to judge, you know, the situation. I go back to what I said again. What's your purpose? So, you know, if you keep that in mind and everything with music, I feel like it helps you make decisions. So if I'm asking you, you know, if you coming over and you don't plan on, and you don't mind 1,000 other people having this beat, or you don't mind the beat tag being in there, or you don't mind not being able to, you know, get a certain kind of a mix out of it or whatever, then that's on you.
Okay.
You know, I do think it's important to at least know who the producer is.
Okay.
You know, because usually if it's a free YouTube beat, this producer did it, you know, for some type of promotion, and you know, some type of recognition, some type of promotion, something. You know, they want people to know who they are. You know, so I think that at least I feel like a lot of rappers. This is my biggest complaint with rappers, bro, and this might ruffle some feathers for real. A lot of rappers come in the studio and they do their shit and they're out. And they forget this is dope ass engineer. And I'm not even one of the dope engineers. I don't even, I'm a producer that can engineer.
Okay.
But I'm not one of them dope ass engineers. But there's engineer, there's a beat maker or a producer, there's this dope videographer that made that's a huge part of what you just did. That as soon as you get your product, you completely X them out of it. Like, you know, I can hear a dope song, and as a producer, one of the first things I'm asking is who produced that. You know, and you don't know, or you sharing it. You know, something my wife says that I'm aware of that really makes sense. Ain't nobody did shit by themselves.
Yeah.
You know, even yourself, even the self-made millionaire needed some people to buy his shit. He wasn't sitting in a room by himself and just made $1 million by himself. I mean, like, you know, so I don't like when I you know, like, I mean, even if you start talking to like videographers and stuff, you don't know how many, there's so many guys that show up to a video shoot, they just pull up and they're expecting this videographer to come up with all these ideas, all of these visions.
Amen.
You know, I mean, for
Amen.
real.
Hank shoot videos, so yeah.
You know?
Yeah, we just gonna stand in front of the trap house and you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You just gonna yeah. Like,
Right.
What does that mean? It's
Right.
the communication. What is code? I don't know what you mean, fam.
Right. You know what I'm saying? But you know, so it's those little things. Like, I'm big on making sure
Credit.
that I give people credit. You know, and not even like props. I mean, it's just, hey, just acknowledge, because this person is dependent on artists in order to even do some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, the artists need you and you need the artist.
Yeah.
So like, let's all, you know, give each other their props, man. You know, and I need to do a better job of that myself at times, because there's times when it's not even that I'm like said fuck giving credit or didn't do something, but it's more like I'm just in such a rush to get something done that I'm skipping a bunch of steps. You know.
Let me ask you this. Do you think, got kind of two more questions I want to hit you with, and they're going to kind of take a little bit, not too much time, but one, do you think that in today's music market that there is a realistic or tangible business model for independent or local artists to make money? And where I'm coming from with that, you know, early 2000s, late 90s, you go to an open mic, you perform, people, oh, he dope. As soon as you walk off the stage, you sell a couple CDs. And then you go to the next open mic and you selling CDs. And then you getting booked for a show. So you getting a little bit of money to perform at a show. You selling some CDs. You know, you got a profit margin there to make some money. So even if you're not that guy, there's still a way that rapping can put, you know, $100, $200 in your pocket, profit, $300, $400, $500, whatever, $100 in your pocket as a profit. Now, with everything being streaming, you go to an open mic or a showcase and you kill a show, and then you get 20, 30 new followers, but that ain't no money. Or your song get a couple more streams, or your YouTube get a couple more views, but they're still not, like, what you making, 33 cents off of that? Mm-hmm. So, like, for today's music, is there a model? Because what I see is a lot of artists less likely to spend money, whether it's videos, studio, or whatever, because they don't see a way for me to, I'm going to flip these CDs. I'm going to go to the disc or go wherever and get 100 of these printed up and sell them and make that money back. So do you see a way for up and coming local artists to have a little sustainable way to make money doing music?
Well, what the key word in what you said is artist.
Yeah.
So what I see happening in society today, and you see it even in sports.
Yeah.
You know, you are your brand.
Yeah.
Okay, so your music is just a part of your brand.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So it's like, maybe you're not making money off of your music per se, but your music might be the thing that gets you in places or that connects with people, and then you're able to move and do other things because of your connections or because of these people who have who get to know you, or like, I mean, I feel like Rose Spitter is a good example of that. Like, we know Rose Spitter as a rapper, but that ain't how he make his money. And he does a whole bunch of other shit that, really his brand,
No, I get what you're saying. Yeah. But what I'm hearing from what you're saying is, in today's era, there's no real way to make money off rapping. So maybe you use that rap to build your brand to, hey, put your eyes on my clothing. Hey, put your eyes on my whatever else I'm doing. Like, and I get that part. I was just wondering if, from your perspective, if you saw a way for somebody to say, hey, I don't want to sell clothes. Hey, I don't want to sell hats, shoes. I don't want to be a brand ambassador. I don't want to be out here in Fenty or nothing. I just want to rap and do what is the equivalent in today's era of going and pressing up 100 CDs for $200 and then selling them and making $5. Like, is there an equivalent?
Sync licensing.
Okay, now what is that?
That's when your music is available for TV, commercials, different things like that. Like, that's kind of where things are really going.
Okay.
So like, if I was just watching an interview with, I think it was Vince Staples, where he said
Vince is dope.
He made his whole album and he did it all with the intentions of these songs being synced. Like, he had all of this in mind, and he was like, yeah, maybe my songs weren't charting, and rap people didn't know who I was, but because my song was in this movie, I was on this festival, amongst the, and it was a group, and there was an audience of people who ain't even into rap, but they knew my song because it was on this video game, and so that, that's a whole nother area, way to make money. But what I will say is, if anybody gets into music in order to get rich, that's where you fucked up. I mean, I think people have been saying that for years. I mean, the greats. It's like, if you got into music to get rich, you fucked up.
Why you say that?
Because I don't think that it's something that, it's not just simple. There isn't this formula that says that if you do X, Y, and Z, you're gonna get rich. There's no guarantee in it at all. And then the only way to really succeed at it, I think, is you gotta keep going.
But doesn't that apply to like everything though? Like, I can shoot just as many threes a day as Steph Curry. That don't mean I'm gonna be Steph Curry. Or I can practice law. That don't mean I'm gonna be Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Right. So it's like, with nothing you do, I don't think anything is guaranteed.
Right.
But it's like, so you're saying that from your standpoint, that the music industry is not an industry you should come into hoping to make money off of.
You said get rich. There's a difference, because you can make some money.
Do you think that applies? So, because I hear that a lot in all of the arts. Whether like Van Gogh died.
The arts,
is that
bro.
just
The
an
arts
thing.
The value of the arts is going down to shit. Nobody cared. I mean, there was a time where, bro, we would wake up. You know, I couldn't wait to, like, I remember going to the record store to buy Doggy Style, the Snoop Dogg album when it came out. Like, I remember that was an event.
Yeah, I was there too.
Yeah, I remember it, bro. Like, it was an event. I remember who I was with. I remember the car we were in, all of that. It's like now, a song comes out, you know, a new album comes out, I just Google it, play it right quick, and then I'm good.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like the value of music for the average consumer has been devalued.
Because tomorrow will never be here. Like, tomorrow will never be here. Tomorrow is always tomorrow. Tomorrow is Sunday. Sunday tomorrow will be Monday.
Right.
Monday tomorrow will be. Tomorrow is never here. Music has found a way to make tomorrow today. Mm-hmm. Like, the moment you can achieve what you've been working for, it's over. Mm-hmm. Like, if you look at anything in life that has a consistent value, the value is in not getting it. Christianity teaches you to be Christ-like, but you can't be Christ. So tomorrow will never be here. So you live your whole life trying to be something you will never achieve. The moment you achieve it, hip-hop's whole thing and music whole thing was, yo, treat us like the white artists. They on MTV, put us on MTV. They getting shows, put us, well, now you got shows, so now what? Fight the power, you are the power. Now what are you doing? You brought tomorrow here. You had that whole event of, because I remember the same, I think Hank tired of me telling the story, same thing about the Slim Shady LP. I tell it all the time, but my favorite song and how that song, I remember riding my bike to Summit Place Mall to go get it. I remember riding home, hearing the song, listening. It was a whole event for me. So it ingrained that in me. So now I looked forward to riding my bike to Sam Goody, going finding the CD that nobody ever heard of, and then being able to come back to school. Oh, you ain't heard of this, you ain't heard of that. And I would maybe be like 1 out of 7, where one of them I would find a gem and the other 6 would be completely trash. But that was an event. Riding my bike, saving up $20, getting to the mall, buying the CD, riding home, having to ride slow because I got the 3-second skip protect, and every time I hit a bump, that boy's skipping. Like, that whole event. Now it's just click on my phone. Like, my favorite artist right now is Benny the Butcher, currently. I still ain't even listened to his new album yet.
What?
Because it's so much music. It's so much music out and so much stuff that I'm getting to. Like, I don't even value having the music because there's no process. I open my phone. Oh, yeah, Benny dropped. I'll check it out in a minute. I'm still on the Conway. Oh, yeah, Benny dropped. I'll check it out in a minute. It's a new Ransom. Like, I'm going to get to it. Like, because they found a way to bring it here. So now, once you make it so accessible for everybody, there's no anticipation. Mm-hmm. There's nothing. We don't even watch music videos on. MTV is still on. It stands for music television. When the last time they played music? Like, it's nobody, because it's here now. You know, like, I don't even think, I'm thinking about the next 5 years, we won't even have pop stars anymore. Like, because if you think about it, like, remember like Michael Jackson, when people would pass out at his show, they would have to spray the fire hose into the crowd to cool people down, because it was like, Michael Jackson's going to be in Paris. Who knows when we'll ever see him again? He's so exclusive. Let's get here. It's a big thing now. It's like, Instagram. Oh, I see. Now you see Michael Jackson's kid? Oh, I see. Now you see what Michael Jackson ate? Oh, then he shrimp and grits too? Oh, wow. Like, there's no more mystique. Tomorrow is here. We don't treat Beyonce today the same way we treated Whitney Houston in 1990. Like, Whitney Houston singing the national anthem was like, whoa, what? I got to be in front of my TV at this time to see this.
Oh, no,
now it's like, YouTube.
I just YouTube it.
I'll YouTube
in
it.
a second.
I'll see it later. I'll DVR it.
Right.
Tomorrow that we found a way, anything that you find a way to make it accessible, there's no longer value in it. Mm-hmm. And music is so accessible right now that to me it just seems like there's no value. But I wanted to pick, I was hoping you had a different answer to be like, yo, because people who are doing music now seem to be doing it because they love it. And a lot of the people whose love is based on that nostalgia. But when we got into it, I know me, my first thing was I wanted to be dope. And then the next thing I wanted to have the money. Then I wanted to have the chains and the girls and the cars and be able to flash. You know, I was coming up during the shiny suit era. I wanted the shiny suit. It had to be 2X, but I wanted the shiny suit. You know what I'm saying? And it was like you wanted what came with the talent. And now it seems like there's no path to get what comes with the talent. So I guess I was just hoping you had a more rosy answer. Like, yeah, if you work hard, you can be what you want to be, and you can make this much, and you can do that. You're like, nope, you better go sell some shoes, nigga.
No, I mean that's the truth.
Yeah,
Like I'm not gonna bullshit you.
I respect it.
You
I
know
was
what I'm
hoping.
saying? Like, nah, man. I mean, like, if you get into music to make, look back in the drug dealer days, you know, when it was a thing for the drug dealer to come and put on some rappers.
Yeah.
You know, and I had been around some of that, you know, and it was a thing where, you know, you had to tell these motherfuckers, like, yo, for them, it's like they used to, like, you spend this much money, you're going to get this much back.
Exactly.
This amount of time. It's like, bro, just because you spent this much money don't mean you're getting it back. It's just that simple.
I don't know why. It's like it's caught me like 4 times. That mannequin right there. I keep seeing the mannequin behind the door. I think somebody's standing there. It caught me like 3 times. Like, bro, they about to rob us.
It caught us when we got to walk on.
But, let me ask you this one last thing before we get you up out of here, because it's almost getting close to that time. Do you think that a producer selling a beat and asking to be paid for that beat that he produced is equivalent to a rapper, local producer, asking to be paid for a verse that he wrote? That seems to be a big debate. Producers want to get paid for beats because they made the beats, they invested in the equipment and all that, and the skill and the talent. But then when a rapper says, yo, I'm charging for a feature, it's an issue. Like, what is your thought?
I feel like there's no right or wrong. I know I don't be giving you the answers, but this is how I really feel. It's like, if this is your price and this is what you want, then I have the option, especially if we talk about this up front, I have the option to give you that or not. And if I feel some kind of way about it, then I'm the a-hole. You know, like, I might disagree with it.
So that's what I'm asking. Do you feel it's an equivalent ask?
No, it's hard for me to say. I don't know, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, no, I don't know, man, because I feel like you got to talk. You got to talk it out. You got to figure out what it is. There are some rappers that I might pay for a feature. You know what I'm saying? If it's a feature, you know, but I feel like producers should be paid for their beats. And if they're not paid for their beats, something should be worked out, you know? If, like, what's the advantage? Like, the reason I started putting out music the way I do it is because I started to realize that once I made a beat and did something with somebody, I ain't got no control over shit. If you put the song out, when you put it out, how it's promoted, anything. And everything that I'm doing is dependent on this artist, whether he chooses to release this beat or release this song, when, how, whatever. And then once it's released, will they even acknowledge the fact that I was a part of it? I mean, I might be credited, you know, but outside of me putting a beat tag on it, which is something I don't do because I feel like it's kind of cheesy. It's just for me personally.
I'm glad you said that. I hate beat tags.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. But I also want to make sure that you let some people know that, hey, this is the producer. Because that's the only way I'm going to be able to promote anything that I do outside of just posting a bunch of beats all the time, which I don't like to do that either. You know, so it's extremely important that you know, I just want to be acknowledged as a producer and paid. And if I can work out something with you where it's like, okay, well, maybe we do this and we do a joint thing together, then we do that. But at that point, I'm an artist with you, you know. But
he going out to get Del Gotti. He just pulled up.
yeah, but no, I feel producers should get paid, and artists charging features, I feel like that's on them. If that's what they want to do, then, you know, just know that you might be, you know, you might be taking yourself out of you might be eliminating yourself out of some situations.
So from you, it's not equivalent, is what I'm hearing. You're saying producers should be paid regardless. Artists, you should ask if you want to get paid, but it's not the same expectation from artists to producers as far as payment.
Well, yeah, because I feel like because a producer is providing a service, you know, and I'm not saying that an artist isn't providing a service as a feature, but like, you know, like I mean, shouldn't an engineer get paid?
Yeah.
You know, like yeah,
Yeah,
you know, should yeah, it's like it's not the same. But I understand why. I can understand how artists want to be paid for a feature. You know, I get it. You want to get paid for your thing, but it goes back to what I said again. What is your goal? What are you really trying to accomplish? Are you trying to progress as an artist? Are you trying to be seen? Are you trying to work with more people? Or are you trying to get paid? So what is the value in that $100 I give you or $200 for your feature?
Yeah.
You pay a couple bills, cool, that's fine, right? Yeah. But how many other people are you not working with because you charging for a feature?
But does that same thing apply to producers? Like, how many people are you not working with because you selling a beat instead of giving it away for free?
Yes and no, because I feel like I ain't seeing no rappers put out no acapella albums.
All right, that's the first thing you said. I really ain't got to come back for that.
That's the truth, bro.
I ain't got no comeback.
I ain't seen a rapper put out an acapella album, bro.
Not no local. No. I've seen one like Jay-Z put out one for people to remix and all that. But
Okay,
yeah, I get what
but-
you're saying,
but
but ain't not on our level though.
No,
I get what you're saying.
I could put an acapella album out. I mean, I could put an instrumental album out. You know, I ain't seen no rapper put out an acapella album. So that mean that video dude, that studio, these guys are coming. They'll come in the studio and spend. You know, they got the best weed. They got the best everything, right? Looking fresh, taking pictures, looking fresh in the studio the whole night.
So this is what I'm taking from what you're saying. Your value should be based on what you can do on your own. So like hypothetically, if I'm saying, yo, I want to be paid for a show, I'm performing Project Logic show, and I want to be paid, and the venue brings out 100 people every show, and then, well, how many can you do a Project Logic show with just you?
Right.
And see how many people you bring out.
Exactly.
And then we can talk what your value is.
That determines your
So
value.
like if you're talking about a producer being paid, you say, hey, I can put out a beat tape and make money with no vocals, just beats, and make money. Now I want to see you put out just an acapella tape with no beats, just lyrics.
I could
and
put
make
my
money,
beats
and then-
online and make money.
Yeah.
I could just post it online and people would just be buying it. I ain't,
Yeah.
like, and here's the thing. I hate saying that because I'm not discounting,
Yeah.
the value of the artist. That's not what it is at all.
Yeah.
But, because the artist is extremely important in all of this. I mean, they're the ones out front doing the stuff.
It's just about understanding what the value is and understanding the equation and understanding what makes sense so people understand how to operate. But last thing I want to get to before we get you up out of here, because we almost at your time limit. Let's talk 48. We really didn't talk. You want water, Will?
Yeah, sure.
Let's talk 48, because that's kind of, what you got going on right now, which is a big thing, which is doing good. Kind of explain to people what the 48 is.
The idea of the 48 happened from me mixing dark skin at Viv for a year and still counting. Part of me mixing was wanting to learn, wanting to get better at it. And I spent a year working on getting better. And the 48 idea came out of me realizing how much time I was spending on songs, and I wanted to do them faster. So I went back to thought about the older days when we did in studio work. And back in the day when we pulled up at the studio, there wasn't no computers. There wasn't none of that shit where you could just save something and work on the hi-hat for 2 days, because once you took that tape off the reel, it was a wrap. So 48 is the premise behind the 48 is meeting up with artists, creating on the spot, and dropping it within 48 hours. I've kind of gotten away from the dropping it within 48 hours part of it, simply because I was doing so many of them.
Okay.
And doing a lot of them fast.
Who all you done did 48s with so far?
Oh man, well if you were the first 48.
I was the first 48. Hold on.
Like,
I need my applause. The first 48. All right, man.
you were like, people like to say, hey, yeah, the first 48, but no, it's like, it's only one first 48.
I wish we had gunshots. I would. Boop, boop, boop. No gunshots, but yeah, that's how. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
So yeah, 48s. I've done so far. I've released 20 of them since July, and I've worked with. I've recorded 25, I think, and I've worked with over. I think it's like 36 artists at this point. 36 different artists. So, people I've worked with, you, Binks, Del Gotti, got one with Del Gotti.
You got one with Lashmo?
I got one with Lashmo. It hasn't been released.
Bricks, Lambo.
I got Lambo Bricks. First of all, shout out to my boy Grove GT.
Shout out to GT, man.
Sir Slap Nasty, who has been with me on 99% of these.
They be
So-
killing that bass.
But yeah, but let me see. I got Binks.
You got one with Frank J. Did he do one?
No,
Did it
I
do
don't.
one?
I don't have one with Frank J. Nope. I got. Dude, you just put me on the spot because it's one of them things like I don't want to forget no names.
Yeah, then they be like, oh, you ain't shout me out.
Yeah,
Hey, Logic got shouted out. You didn't. Ha ha.
but
Oh, I'm sorry.
like, I got one with Hi, I'm EJ, Rada Sun, Kirby Lachey is a dope neo soul R&B artist. Eno Savad, as well, dope R&B neo soul rock artist. Khalik Ra, spoken word artist.
I like him.
Yeah, Khalik, good people, man. That's my brother for real. Another Pisces too.
Oh, straight up?
Yeah, another Pisces. This is my brother there. But dude, like I got so many of these mugs. I wish I'd had a list and if I forgot anybody, I apologize. It's not even that I'm forgetting. It's just I just got put on the spot. But yeah, like I said, it's 35 different at least, and I'm gonna keep going. I got 4 or 5. I got one with Wayne J that I haven't
Wayne
dropped.
J.
I got one with Shane On Point Adams I haven't dropped. I got one with my boy Mike Nash, ODP Nasty. It's one of my favorite ones. The beautiful thing about doing these is just been working with people, bro, and learning in each one of these situations. And a lot of times these artists haven't been in a situation where they've been in the studio with a producer making everything on the spot.
That's different.
You know, most of them, they came from that era, they just pick a beat. You know, they go on beat shop, I like this beat and do it. You know, and so for me to get a chance to, you know, show some people a different way of doing things and them to see it, it's just been dope, man.
Yeah.
You know, it's been bigger than the music, and it's been dope.
That's what's up, man.
You know.
So, we call the show Plug City because it's all about plugging what you're doing, plugging what you got going on. So let the people know, man, where they can find you, where they can reach out to you if they want to come to Gypsy Land and record. They want to get on the 48. How can they get a hold of you, man?
Well, first of all, it's Black Gypsy Music on Facebook, Black Gypsy Music on Instagram, Will Black Beats on Facebook, The 48 on Facebook,
THE or THA?
THE, and the numbers 48. Will Black everywhere, WI1L BLACK. And blackgypsymusic.com, you can go there. Or you can hit up Logic or whatever.
Hit me up.
You know.
I'm a hate,
No,
so you can't get booked.
No, that ain't true.
No, just playing. Man, yeah, man. We definitely thank you for coming out, Will, man. Definitely. It's always hard for me to interview people I'm cool with because I don't want to, like, I don't know. It's different. Like sitting up here with your brother or something. It's like you don't want to make it too interviewee. It's like, because we don't talk like that.
Yeah,
so
man,
now you got
but
to put on this whole little, so Will, tell me, I'm like, I don't want to do all that. I just want to sit back and kick it and talk, man. So it's
Well,
always
you went
different.
right in on it and you said, everybody knows Will Black. But
So-
they
so
don't
that-
get-
so-
and I still got out of it. You didn't get
So,
shit.
but I did that on purpose. I completely skewed because that was my whole thought process to start the interview off. Like I kept when I was telling people he's gonna have Will Black on. Oh yeah, I fuck with Will. Everybody fucks with Will. And then I'm like, what you know about him? 'Cause I'm trying to figure out what to ask, and nobody knows anything. Nobody. And I'm like, all right, so you fuck with him, you know him, but you don't know nothing. And now it's just being like that little awkward pause. So it's like, I think I want to go that route. And so I start the interview off by saying that, and you like, bruh, like you just pretty much just spilled my beans. So I was like, all right, well, we're not going to go that route. And I just completely moved it a different route because, you know what I'm saying? It's like I always want to make sure whoever up here is comfortable. You know, we ain't really – and I asked you, like, yo, what you want to talk about? We can talk about whatever. Now I say that, and you're like, oh, man, you know, I've been working on that for years. And you told people?
Oh,
you know
not even,
like,
well,
so.
you know what it is? It ain't even been nothing about me working on it as much as it is like I feel like I give a lot of myself, you know, and if anybody wanted to say something about me, they would say I love music, I love my family, and, you know, and I was just passionate about whatever I've done, you know, and that's all I think somebody need to know.
Facts. And that just came from, and I'm going to get us out of here on this. I was having a conversation with somebody about a couple of local battle rappers, who big name from Pontiac or whatever. And he was asking, like, why aren't they more out there and more popular than some of the other big name battle rappers? You know, why don't they get on social media more? Why don't they put themselves out there more? And I was saying that some people don't want everybody in their life, because the more you're out there, the more you're going live, the more you're showing what you're doing and where you at, the more people are now aware of what you're doing or who you are or what's going on. And then more stuff starts to come out. Oh, I know him. He ain't really that. He this. Oh, he ain't really got that much money. He here. He there. So some people are like real careful with what they put out into the public and what they want seen and what they don't want seen. You know what I'm saying? And I noticed with you being a person who runs a studio, you have to be out there because you want people to know you're open, you're available, you do business, but you ain't got to know my personal business. You ain't got to know who I'm beefing with, who I'm mad at, who I'm upset with, who I'm getting along with, who my friends, who not. Like, all you need to know is studio is open. You can come and record. You can pay me money to record. We can make music together. You can say hi and bye, and then we go on. You know what I'm saying? And that's like a skill. Like, some people don't know how to be, you know, don't know how to, you know, cut the floodgate off a little bit. They got to be all the way open or all the way closed.
For me, is I got to be that way to protect my energy, and that's ultimately that's the real thing, because I can feel it all, bro. And once I start opening up, I feel it, and then you know, then that's when
it goes left.
Yep.
Yeah, so I can respect that. But yeah, so that just made me kind of switch the whole flow of the conversation and where I was gonna go. I'm like, I can respect that. And I understand that.
Oh,
so
yeah.
That's why I kind of was
we
like,
can come back. You know, I'll come back another time. We can go there, bro.
yeah, I could be asshole logic then.
Yeah,
this time we just want to talk.
Absolutely.
You already did that anyway. So.
I did. That was cool. Like, I didn't even debate on stuff I disagree with. I was just like,
Oh, so you was disagreeing with shit.
yeah.
that
I be disagreeing. That should be like my.
That's always disagreeing. So.
I'm always disagreeing. Y'all know how I be being.
It's gonna be fun.
I quit.
You
Okay.
and your son, boy.
All right, man. Will, man, we thank you for coming out, man.
Well, thanks for having me, man.
Make
Thanks
sure
for coming out, man.
and you hit him up. Black Gypsy, Will Black, Project Logic,
June, Dope Ideas Media.
Dope Ideas Media,
Hank Nation.
Hank Nation TV. We in the building. We out the building. We don't even need a building. Peace.